Well, welcome back to a special presentation. This game we're going to play something called Aruba Baseball, and that's going to be something that is an old dice baseball game, but we're going to play it with new teams. So this is from September 30th, 2022. The Mets at the Braves, and so my Braves were hunting the Mets at this point. They wound up doing very well in this series and caught them. So let's go through the starting lineups for the Mets. Let's be Nimmo, Alonso, Lindor, Mark Canha, Jeff McNeil, Eduardo Escobar, Francisco Alvarez, Luis Guillorme, excuse me, and Thomas Nido is the catcher, hitting ninth. For the Braves, it's going to be Acuna leading off, Swanson second, Michael Harris playing center and batting third, Riley at third, Matt Olson is hitting fifth in this game, is playing first. Travis d'Arnaud, Contreras is the DH. William Contreras, Eddie Rosario gets the start in left, and Orlando Arcia is going to be playing second. Pitching for the Braves will be Max Fried, and going for the Mets is going to be Jacob deGrom. So leading off for the Mets is Brandon Nimmo. We got a roller here, and each of these things is just, I can sort of control them like a pegboard, and I can just add these different outs, and I can manipulate and change these things automatically. We're going to compare our roll against our sort of basic chart here, and this is a game that I found online that actually plays a pretty even sort of pace. I think the averages are about 286 or so, and so we'll see, just how this thing plays out. So top of the first, Brandon Nimmo against Maxwell Fried. The roll for Nimmo at 3-5 is going to be an out, and so we just record that as a simple out in this game. Next up is Pete Alonso, one down, a 4-1. I'm sorry, that's going to convert to a 1-4, so that's going to be an out. Two down in the inning, and Francisco Lindor stands in. A 1-6 is going to be a strikeout. So 1-2-3 go the Mets in the first, and coming up against deGrom is going to be Ronald Acuna Jr. leading off. 1-4. He's going to make an out, and brings up Dansby Swanson. Same fate for him. Two quick outs for the Braves, and a 3-3. That's going to be reached on an error. So runner to first base. I'm not really doing the outs very well here. So runner to first base reaches on an error, and that'll be Michael Harris, the second at first. Brings up Austin Riley to the plate, 2 down, 1 on, in the bottom of the first inning. 1-5, he's going to make an out, and that's going to be it for the Braves in the first. No runs, no hits, one error, and one left on for the Braves. We go to the top of the second, and still no score. That's going to be Mark Canha making the first out of the inning. Brings up Jeff McNeil, the right fielder, in this game. A 1-2, that's going to be McNeil down the line for a double. So McNeil standing at second with one out, and who is to the plate? Eduardo Escobar, the third baseman, with an opportunity here. A 5-6, that's going to be a base knock. In this game, we're just going to give everybody what they get as far as what the hit is. So a single's going to net one base for the runner, double two bases, triple three bases, etc. So one down and two on. Good scoring chance here for the Mets, and it's going to be Francisco Alvarez, the DH. 3-4. 3-4 is going to be a strikeout. So Free comes in hard with the fastball in on his hands, and that's going to be out number 2. So 2 down, Top of the second inning, the Mets threatening with runners at the corners, and it'll be Luis Guillorme. Uh, Guillorme, sorry. A 1-1. That's a huge hit. That's going to be a triple to the right center field gap, and that three bagger is going to bring home two, and that will be McNeil and Escobar coming around to score. Leaves a runner at third base, and they put two on the board here in the top of the second inning. Two down, and a runner at third base. 1-4 is going to be an out, and Fried gets Thomas Nido for the third out of the inning, but not before the Mets put up two in the top of the second. Brings up Matty Olson, Travis d'Arnaud, and William Contreras to the plate for the Braves. So bottom of the second inning, 2-0, Metropolitans, and a 3-4 is going to be a strikeout of Matt Olson. One down in the inning. And next up is Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher. 4-6. 4-6 is going to be a walk. So DeGrom gives up a rare walk. And that puts a runner at first base with one out. A 6-6. William Contreras gets one out over the plate, and he deposits it into right center field for the big bomb. And that's going to tie the ball game at 2 as Contreras takes Jacob deGrom yard in this one. It's going to clear the bases, still one out, and Eddie Rosario to the plate. A 1-2, so home run and a double, back to back. Atlanta actually won this game, I believe, 5-2, and controlled the game from the outset, really. So runner at second base with Orlando Arcia to the plate. A 4-6 is going to be another walk. So tough start here for Jacob deGrom. He's got 2 on and only 1 out in the inning. 2 already in for the Braves. 2-5. That's going to be a strikeout. So he comes back strong with that slider, and that's going to be out number 2 as he strikes out Ronald Acuna Jr. And Dansby Swanson stands in, 2 down, 2 on, and the game tied. A 1-6. That's going to be back-to-back Ks for deGrom as he shuts down the threat, and that evens the score at 2 as we head to the top of the third. Back to the top of the order for the Mets, and it's going to be Brandon Nimmo standing in. Nimmo 0 for 1. He's going to be 1 for 2 as he hits a little base knock there. So runner at first base with nobody out, and that's going to bring up Pete Alonso, the polar bear, and he swings and misses at a big looping curveball. He can't get there, and that's going to be out number 1. So 1 down, 1 on, top of the third, game tied, and this is a huge and pivotal game. Going to get an out here. That's out number 2. No advancement for the runner. You can see there's some extras here. So a single with 2 extra bases. There's a double play, and we get the lead runner. And there's a couple of other hits scattered out throughout here. So it's going to be 2 down. Runner at first base is Brandon Nimmo. And a 2-3 is going to be the third out of the inning, as Fried gets out of that one unscathed. He does give up 1 hit, but no runs, and 1 left on for the Mets. We go to the bottom of the third. 2-2 ball game for the Braves. It's going to be Harris, Riley, and Olson, so heart of the order for Atlanta. 2-2 is going to be trouble. That's going to be a single for Michael Harris, who's been on twice today. And nobody down, and 1 on. Matt Olson to the plate. Olson 0 for 1. Make that 0 for 2 as deGrom gets him with the strikeout. So 1 down, 1 on, and that's going to be a base knock. That goes to, it was Austin Riley with the K. This will be Matty Olson with the base knock, and that's going to drive Harris to second. And so we got runners at first and second with only one down, and the Braves looking to deal a huge blow here to DeGrom. That's going to be Darno. Darno with the single. That's going to load the bases with only one out and a chance to blow this one wide open. It's William Contreras who had a two-run bomb his last at bat. This time it's just going to be a single, but it does some damage as that's going to be a base run scoring single. So already 3 RBIs in the game for William Contreras, and that gives the Braves a 3-2 lead. Bases still loaded with only one out. And up to the plate stands Eddie Rosario. Rosario hit a double in his last at bat. This time he's going to hit a single, but that single is going to give everybody 2 bases. So sort of think about it as a long single. So that's going to score Olsen from third, and that's going to score Darno from second, and that's going to push Contreras to third. So 2 RBI single there. And that's going to be runners at the corners now with still only one out. And 2 runs in for the Braves, 5-2. Now the score against DeGrom. The batter is Arcia with one out and runners at the corners. 2-6. 2-6 is going to be an out, and that's no advancement on the play, so out number 2. And that brings up Ronald Acuna. Acuna over 2, struck out his last at bat. A 1-5. He's going to make an out here, and that's going to be it as DeGrom gets gets out of it, but certainly not unscathed as he gives up 3 runs. It's now 5-2 Braves over the Mets. That was actually, like I said, that was the final score in the game. And trying to keep up with the the outs and everything as best I can. It'll be I have a score sheet here too. So Jeff McNeil, Eduardo Escobar, and Francisco Alvarez. McNeil with a double in his first trip. Hits a single this time, so he's 2 for 2. So McNeil standing at first, nobody out. It is Eduardo Escobar. 4-6. That's going to be a walk from Fried. And the free pass puts 2 on with nobody out. And the Mets threatening to get back into this one. It's Francisco Alvarez, the DH. He is going to strike out. Big out there for the Braves. And Fried, 1 down now. And runners at first and second. A 1-2, that's going to be a double. Big hit from Luis Guillorme. Guillorme just killed the Braves all year. And that's going to push the runner to third. That's an RBI single. And that makes the score 5-3 Mets with runners at second and third now. And only 1 down. So Fried on the ropes here a little bit. 5-5 is going to be another walk. That's going to load the bases for Brandon Nimmo. 1 down, bases loaded against Max Fried, and Brandon Nimmo to the plate. Oh, that's a huge hit, a double for Nimmo here in the 4th, and that's going to bring home 2, and that's going to tie the ball game as the Mets come back with 3 of their own here in the top of the 4th. Game tied at 5 apiece. And we have runners at second and third, still only 1 out. Fried looking for some way out of this jam. 3-6 is going to be an out. So that's out number 2. And Braves hoping and praying for a 3rd out here. 2-6, that's going to be an out to end the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Tied at 5 now. As the Mets put a 3 spot up in the top of the 4th. Heart of the order for the Braves is Swanson, Harris, and Riley in the bottom of the 4th, still against Jacob deGrom. 3-6 is going to be an out. That'll be out number 1 as Swanson is 0 for 3. 1-5. That's going to be an out for Harris. Harris is, for the first time, not going to be on base after an at bat. And Austin Riley stands in. He's 0 for 2. He struck out in his last at bat. Here's a 3-6. He's going to make it out here. That's a 1-2-3 inning for DeGrom. Nice shutdown inning for him. And the Mets are going to send up the middle of their order: Canna, McNeil, and Escobar in the top of the fifth. A 4-5. 4-5 is going to be a sac fly, so that's going to be a fly out. And that will be out number 1. Had there been runners on base, we would have moved them up. Sorry, top of the fifth now. 4-5, same thing. 2 fly outs in a row. And 2 quick outs for Max Fried. Here's a 4-6, a 4-6, another walk from Fried. Second walk of the day issued to Escobar. He's been on base 3 times, scored twice, and been a real catalyst for the Mets at the bottom of the order. 3-5, that's going to be an inning ending out, and Fried takes care of the Mets in the top of the fifth. One left on. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the score is still tied at 5 as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Braves going to send up Olson, d'Arnaud, and Contreras. This is where the most damage has been done today for them. 3-6 is an out, and that's out number 1. Travis d'Arnaud stands in. 1 out in the fifth inning. There's a 2-5. 2-5 is going to be a K. So DeGrom with another strikeout. How many is that for him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts in his first 4 2/3. So very DeGromish. And 2 down now with William Contreras, the DH, up a 1-2. That's going to be a double. Contreras now 3 for 3, and he is a triple away from the cycle, as he stands at second base with 2 down. And Eddie Rosario, left-handed batter, to the plates. 3-3. That's going to be an error. So 1 base error, and Contreras is going to go to third. Still 2 down, and now runners at the corners, and it's getting hot in here. And we got a double play here, a lead runner out, so we're just going to call that a ground out since there's 2 outs, and that's going to be a force at first. So DeGrom gets out of that one, having given up no runs, even though he had runners at the corners with 2 down. And we head to the top of the 6th, still tied at 5. This is the Mets at the Braves, September 30th, 2022. And for the Metropolitans, it's going to be Guillorme, who doubled and had an RBI in his last at bat. Doubled, scored, and drove in a run. And then Thomas Nido, and then back to the order with Nimmo. So Nido and Nimmo. Got an out here. That's going to be out number 1 as Guillorme makes the first out of the inning. And that brings up Tomas Nido. Nido with a 4-6. 4-6 is going to be a walk, and that's the second straight walk he's had. So runner at first base, 1 out. Tomas Nido there, and Nimmo, another double, back-to-back doubles for Brandon Nimmo, and that's going to push Nido to third base. So runners at second and third now. Nimmo is 3 for 3, and only 1 down. So Pete Alonso looking to cause some major damage, and he cannot as he strikes out for the second time. And Maxwell Fried about to get out of this jam. He's got to get Lindor though. 2 down, 2 on, and Frankie Lindor stands in, and he makes the inning ending out. So Fried gets out of that one unscathed. Both pitchers dancing on the edge, and it is still 5-5 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. For the Braves, it's going to be back to the top of the order: Acuna, Swanson, and Harris. A 1-3, that's going to be a base knock for Acuna. Can't keep him down forever. And got a runner at first with Dansby Swanson standing in. A 5-5, that's going to be a walk. That's going to be 2 on with nobody out for the Braves as Swanson takes the walk. That's his first time on base. And Michael Harris, the second, who singled and scored back in the third, is up with nobody out and 2 on. A 1-3 is going to be a base knock, and that's going to load the bases. So bases loaded, nobody out, and Austin Riley to the plate, the dangerous Austin Riley. But he strikes out here. Will DeGrom get out of this one? We'll have to see. You don't have to tune in again. All right, so 1 down, 2 on. Bases loaded for Matt Olson. A 4-4 gets him out of the inning, but we get a 3-4. That's just as good with a strikeout. And so that's going to be out number 2 as DeGrom rears back and throws one by Olson. And here's a 5-5. That's going to be a bases loaded walk, and that is no good. That's going to be the it's going to give up the go-ahead RBI to Travis d'Arnaud, who draws a walk, gets the run batted in. Braves now have a 6-5 lead, and the inning continues with William Contreras. Contreras already 3 for 3. He is a triple shy of the cycle. Here's your triple at 1-1, and instead he hits another single, and that's going to be another run for the Braves as they tack on. And that's going to keep the bases loaded, but it's going to give the Braves another run. 7-5 now. Atlanta 2 down, and Eddie Rosario to the plate with the bases loaded. 3-4 is going to be another strikeout. So DeGrom is able to get out of it. I guess really at this point it's the Mets. I'm not going to do any pitching changes, but we got two runs for the Braves. 7-5 is our score here, and we have Mark Canha to the plate. Mark Canha. Kennedy. Swing better. So Mark Canha is 0 for 3 with 3 outs made. And there's going to be a strikeout. Give him the old 0 for 4. Now it's going to be 1 down in the 7th inning. The Mets trying to get back into this one as Jeff McNeil finally makes an out. Actually, he's made 2 outs. He's 2 for 4. He's got a double and a single. 2 runs scored. And that's going to bring up Eduardo Escobar, who has not made an out yet. He is 1 for 1. He's got a couple walks, a couple runs scored. And here he's going to reach on an error. So he's doing it every which way you can. And it's going to be 1 on with 2 outs in the 7th inning. A 1-2 is a double. That's a big one. So 2-bagger for Francisco Alvarez. Pushes the runner to third. And we got runners at the corners with 2 outs. And it'll be Guillorme to the plate. A 4-5. That's going to be a sac fly. It doesn't apply here because there's 2 outs. So he is going to make the 3rd out on a fly ball. And that's going to be no runs, so as close as they got. No runs on 1 hit. 2 left on for the Mets in the 7th. And our score remains 7-5 Atlanta. For the Braves, it's going to be Arcia, Acuna, and Swanson. So back around to the top of the order. That's going to be a big double for Orlando Arcia as he laces one to the left center field gap. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Nobody down and a runner at second base. Yeah, that's a big strikeout against Ronald Acuna. That'll be out number 1. And Dansby Swanson to the plate. 1 out and a runner at second base. 1-4 is going to be an out made by Swanson. The runner is not going to advance, and so we got 2 down with the runner in scoring position for Michael Harris the second. 4-6 is going to be a walk as he draws his first walk of the day. That puts runners at first and second with 2 down. And the big man, Austin Riley, to the plate. A 4-4, that's going to be a double play. Doesn't matter with two down, so we're going to have a ground out, force out, and that's going to get the Mets out of the inning. No runs given up, no runs on one hit, two left on, and we head to the eighth inning. Top of the eighth, the Mets are down 7-5. They're going to send up Nito, Nemo, and Alonso, so a good opportunity here for them. 4-6 will be a walk as the catcher Nito gets on base via the walk. He's got 3 walks in this game, and he gets in ahead of Nemo. Nemo with 3 hits so far today. He's going to make an out here, so that's going to be the first out of the inning. Catcher does not advance, so 1 down with the Pete Alonso, the polar bear. He's got a runner at first, and he's going to make the out. So that's out number 2. And let's see, last hope here is going to be Frankie Lindor. 2-2, that's going to do it. So that's a base knock. And advancing 2 bases is Tomas Nido. And so 2 down with runners on the corners. And it will be Mark Canha to the plate. 3-4, that's going to be a huge strikeout for the Braves as they get the 3rd out of the inning. The Mets leave 2 on, but they can't get them home, which has been sort of their MO in this game. It's 7-5 Braves. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it will be the middle of the order, Olson, d'Arnaud, and Contreras to the plate. 4-5. 4-5 is going to be an out, a fly out, more specifically. 1-5, that's going to be Travis d'Arnaud, who laces it, but right to the shortstop for out number 2. And William Contreras stands in with 2 down and nobody on. 2-3, that's going to be a little fly ball to left field, and that will be a can of corn as the Braves go down 1-2-3 in the 8th. No hits, no runs, nobody left on in the 8th, and the Braves are looking to wrap this one up as they face off against McNeil, Escobar, and Alvarez, looking to take this game from the Mets that they desperately needed. 3-4, that's going to be a strikeout. That's a good start. That's out number 1. And standing in is Escobar. Escobar, finally, they get him out. And then last chance saloon here for the Mets is going to be Francisco Alvarez, the DH. He's 1 for 4 on the game. He did hit a double in his last at bat. So 2 down now on the top of the 9th. Braves trying to close this one out. And now there's hope for the Mets as they get 1 on. 1 on, 2 outs. It is Luis Guillorme. Is Guillorme going to torment the Braves? He will not. That's going to be a fly out, and that's going to end the game as the Braves take this one 7-5 on the strength of a strong 2nd and 3rd inning, and the go-ahead runs came on a bases-loaded walk and a bases-loaded single in the 6th. So 7-5 is our score. And again, this is called Aruba Baseball. This is I don't know. It's a series of games that I found online and sort of ported into online games. Excuse me. And everything here is just, the rolling and things are automated, but it's essentially just playing these old dice baseball games online. You could just as easily play offline using this table right here. But a lot of fun. Provides a relatively realistic game. There's no modifications for players at this point, but this is sort of the what all the games you know started as. This is sort of the baseline for all the games that have become commercial products and been sold online to thousands, if not millions, of players. And I love playing these old games. I've got a few others in a different app, excuse me, that allows you to pick which one you want to play, and it just sort of shows you different results. So just as easily could keep this up and roll actual dice and play online or offline. But here we're sort of showing everything online, and I am keeping score offline though. All right, I think that's it. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. And there's lots more games that can be played as far as showing you the different results and things like that of the outcomes. Um, and if you just like the simplicity of it, just give this a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comments section. And yeah, I think that's it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe. Always looking for new people to join into the community and the channel, to leave their thoughts and their wishes about the games. On base, well, I'll have a new roster set that will be the 2023 pre-play. So you'll be able to pre-play the 2023 season using a special roster set that I'll be making once the Zips projections come out in the spring, usually in spring training, those come out. So I'll be looking for that as we go forward, and that you can use with on base baseball, and you can use it with the different charts, playing players from today in any era that you want to, including the most modern era. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, look us up. It's I'll leave a link in the description, and you can join into the On Base Facebook group and get game news and people sharing their replays of On Base Baseball as well, and join into the community that way. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.